Let's create a design using the customizer for a vinyl cutting detailed image. So we pick a design we want to work with, choose the vinyl cutting detailed version. Now make sure that you're logged in. If you're logged in, you'll know you are because you can download the file right here. You can create a design without being logged in, but you won't be able to save the design that you create. So go ahead and log in first. Let's hit customize. Alright, there's our image. So our image, if you notice here, if I click on it, this design is 11.03 inches by 10.73 inches. What I tell people to do is click on it and push it up until you start losing the image, just so you can start seeing and learning where your binding boxes are. So this is my workspace. You can see that there. So I'm going to come up. Let's go around the bottom here. We'll put some type on the top of it. So we're going to click off of it and click on this. Enter your text. We're going to put in Halloween. We'll put it up at the top. We'll make it a little larger. Let's go ahead and change an effect. You know what? Let's change the font. So we're going to scroll, try to find a more appropriate. Here we go. Installs a zombie. Zombie's got to work for Halloween, right? So here's the effects. We're going to click on that there, and I want to go to classic arc. Just put normal right over the image. I think it's bent up a little bit too much, so we're going to kick it down a little bit. Alright, so there we go. Nice simple image. We have a design created, the text in place. And if you click off of the image, off both of these images inside your workspace, it'll get rid of those binding boxes there. So if you want to add some color to this design, I would probably just do something like if you want to do a 2-color vinyl. If you click on the text, we can choose a color to work with. So let's say blue. All right, we can click on the pumpkin here, and let's do an orange maybe, right? All right, so that's just going to give us a visual representation of what we're going to cut. In order to cut that, we'd have to make 2 different files or send it 2 different times to the cutter. I just wanted to show you that you can actually change colors in here and get a comp if you'd like, but I'm not going to do it just because I'm only going to make this a 1-color image. So now I'm going to go ahead and download my file. I'm going to download this as a PDF because since we're doing it for vinyl cutting, we want to make sure that our image comes in as a vector line, not a PNG. So a PNG is a raster data file. It's an image with pixels. We can't send that to the cutter, so we're going to go ahead and choose PDF, and it's going to go ahead and generate that file and download it for us. So here it says, what do you want to do? I want to save that file. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and I'm going to save it, and we're going to come back in and show what this looks like in Illustrator. So our image is downloaded now. Let's go ahead and find it. It will download to your downloads folder on a Mac or a PC unless you change that location. So if you're trying to find out where your images go, look for the downloads folder. So I'm going to pull it on my desktop here. And every time an image downloads from our website, it will automatically give it this name, downloaded design. It's the same name all the time, so I would recommend changing that to whatever it is that you want to name it so you can find it. There's our image. Let's go ahead and drop it on Illustrator and take a look at it. So it opens up in Illustrator. It looks like a black and white image, not a problem. So let's go ahead and view it as outlines. So if I go to View menu, go to Outlines, and then there it is. Notice there's something odd here. We have a box going around the pumpkin. It's because when it exported that file, it creates this, and this is only like this in Illustrator. This is not happening in CorelDRAW. So we select that box. It looks like just the box is selected, right? So if I hit the delete key, it deletes the whole thing. Obviously, we don't want to do that, so I'm going to Command or Control Z. So if you open up your layers palette, if you're an Illustrator user, it's the only time you have to do this. You can come over here and choose this. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see that if I turn this eyeball off here, there's my image, and there's my image hiding. So what this is a clipping group. So if I select this one here, that's my box. It is selected by this little square here in Illustrator. So I select that, now I delete that, and it deletes only that box. So now my artwork is there and we're ready to play with it. We've got to make sure it's a cut, contour line, that sort of thing. Now, before we can finish it or finalize this design, we have to select this, both the artwork and the type. And what I'm going to do, if you're an Illustrator user, you want to go to the Windows menu here and come down to Pathfinder, and you'll get this dialog box. I want to come mouse over this when it says Unite. So if I click on that, it's going to make all that one piece. Now, as an Illustrator user, I want to do one more thing to make sure this thing sticks, because sometimes it doesn't. So if I go to the Object menu, come down to Compound Path, I want to go to Make Compound Path. And when you do that, it will make it all as one unit, and when you send it to the cutter, it'll cut it without a problem. You do not have to do that if you're a Corel user, only Illustrator users. So sometimes Corel gets a little wonky with files, sometimes Illustrator gets a little wonky. I guess it depends on the program you use. But right now, you can assign the cut contour line to this guy and send it out to your cutters.